Right, welcome back to the 12-day challenge. Now, the first thing I'm going to have to do is just clean out the animals, I think. Oh yeah, cleanliness is not... Oh, that's not that bad. It's shown 80%, so we should be alright. Just have a quick look at the eggs, and if we are okay, they're last shown red, I think we're fine. It was shown bad last night, but because the stuff does disappear like grass, which is what's normally chucked out. Then during the spring, summer and autumn, winter it changes to hay. So let's have another quick look here. There's a little in here, but it doesn't look too bad at all. Let's see what it looks like now. No, cleanness 80%. Water will soon have to be done, but I think we will. We'll say it's going to be fine today, and we'll go and get on and do more logging. Oh, great. Alright, we're on day 10, so we're well into late spring now. So let's see how we can get on with some logging today. I need to get some more grass cut as well to make more silage, but that will have to wait. I think we'll go around the long way. Be safer than running over the field. Just bring me forks down. As someone mentioned, shouldn't really be travelling to forks high all the time, but I'm not the world's best farmer. Right, so we drop that off about here. Oops. Hit the right button, why don't you? And I think this is take the back down as here, yes. Well, I didn't really want to take all the sides down. I'll put this side back up again. Oh, I think it's gone. Yeah, we'll keep the back down, this side down for a start off. Oh, better take the tractor with me. Now, there should still be some stuff around here, I hope. I don't think we cleared all the logs up, did we? Yeah, no, I can't remember. No, we didn't. Look, there we are. Whoa. Several stumps to be ground up. I just want to check stuff, and I am using game extension. That's set to 3. That should be okay. Just slightly above what you should have, but shut it off. I don't really want to be spending that on diesel either. See if I've got this right. Is it? No, that's that one. That's that one. I finally remembered how to do this. I'm going to make these into 4 metre, roughly 4 metre lengths. I do. We could actually get some grass here once we've got the stumps out of the way. And we could clear up the... oh, hold on, let's put the level of the sawdust up. I'm cheating a bit, I know, but put that up to maximum. What was it, 12? This is all mathematics, you know. You're not going to believe this, but at school I used to be quite good at maths. Got most of it now. Alright, that's that one cut. And didn't we see another one over this other side here? Oh, they just... yeah, here we are. Get the other side of it, so yeah, that's okay. Just checking I hadn't already cut this one. Nothing worse than cutting them twice. Well, there is not cutting them at all, of course, but oh, I think we talk about a few odds and ends today as we're doing this. Now, some of you may or may not know that I'm a keen motorcyclist. I've been a motorcyclist now for 48 years, roughly. I started as soon as I could at 16 in those days, so I've been there 49 years. And I've been all over on a bike. I even had 4 years racing, which was great fun. I wasn't any good, mind you, but and I'm still on a bike, even at my advanced age. Oh, we've got another one here. We'll do this one. Get all these cut now. I used to be a very regular going to the Isle of Man TT races. It's real road racing. Some of the Irish will certainly understand, as they still have several real road races. And by real road race, I mean racing over actual roads. I only used to go and watch in the Isle of Man. I was never good enough to race there. And I think actually it'd scare me silly, because it is a course which doesn't suffer fools at all. Right, get rid of that, and we'll see if we can cart some of these. Yeah, we can cart this one. This is only a lightweight one. So we're going to put it down again and just try and get somewhere near the centre of the weight. That's better. If we can get rid of these three this morning, these three trees this morning, we'll cut some more down. And just watch where we're putting this. No, actually, I've got this the wrong way around. I need to turn round, so I've got the weight, the heavy bit. Now I'm thinking about this. Have you noticed that? I'm actually thinking this out. It's just gonna worry my regulars. They're not used to me actually thinking about anything. Where is that? Can we just push that in a bit further? Let's try that there. That's better. Yes, I mean, I ain't got too much of an overhang. Yeah, this way, I think. I'm going to put all these. I should really put the small bits on top, but look, I'm doing fine at the moment. Just thinking about putting the heavy end. Towards the front. No, that's a long way out. Yes, I've had bikes. Oh, didn't do that very well, did I? I had bikes of all description. I used to be a keen two-stroke rider in the early days, and that's when two-strokes were still, well, was still being produced in all engine sizes, from 50 to 750. I think was the biggest. Suzuki and Kawasaki both made 750 two-stroke. Oh, both engine. They used triple cylinders in both. Come on, where are you? So one thing, but not having a little dot there, it does mess things up a little bit. That's better. Hey, do you like the way I'm doing this? Now, rather than cheat, I'm not going to carry the other end of these down there. No, it won't be this side. Yes, I'm thinking it's hurting my brain. Now I can actually give you a run through. That's funny what you get to talk about when you're doing these things. You learn a little bit more about the idiot that is Merman. I started with a 50cc, second-hand 50cc Suzuki. Suzuki figures large in the early part, because the place I first worked was a Suzuki dealer. Come on, where are you? Ah. Oh, no back. Now, at the back and push that in. So I had a 50cc Suzuki first. Not very fast, but then you wouldn't expect a 50cc to be so. I then got my first new bike, a 200cc Suzuki. Brand spanking new, straight from the importers. It was great. I really liked that bike. Because I'm going to be the wrong side of this. I think I'm going to come out of cab. Yes, I'm cheating left, right and centre, but I work on the principle, no matter how you can do it, it has to be right. If you need to come out of cab to do something, then do so. Alright, we've got this. Yeah, I then went to my first big bike, which was the 500. That was the one I raced. 500cc T500R Suzuki. I think it was code name Cobra, but they've got these Suzuki code names were a bit silly at the time because they tended to use the same names for one or two off the same range. Because I know in some parts of the world the Cobra was the first of the Suzuki 500. This was I think the second one, the 500R. But that done me proud. Fuel consumption was fairly pitiful racing the thing. Well, if I tell you that the 16 miles a gallon racing was not unusual, and that was actually quite good. I actually done one meeting. Well, I used to ride the bike to and from the meeting. Yes, I was that mad. I didn't have a car licence, so I couldn't have a car to cart it there like some of the others were using. Have I got it? Have I? Ooh. Ooh. Just. Yes, we got it. I raced a circuit called Water Beach. No, I live in Norfolk. Water Beach is in Cambridgeshire. And near Cambridge, actually just outside Cambridge. It was a missile base, or an Air Force base, which was an anti-aircraft establishment, I think was the main job. But it also had some missiles in there, which we didn't learn about until later. But they had a long perimeter track to the airfield. Well, it had a 3/4 mile long straight. Now on my bike, which was not very fast, it was what they call production racing bike, I would get into top gear and just lie on the tank, hold the throttle open and wish I had a book or something to read. Anything to do was I was doing it. Was I was going down this straight. I think I will come in. No, be on the right side here. The first ones are in the wrong way around, but these ones should go in the right way around. I never managed to win, mind you. I was actually happy if I didn't finish last. There was someone actually worse than I was. And there was quite often. Someone just starting out. Although I did have one race which was talked about for years afterwards. With someone who became a friend afterwards. Chris Clark, Jim Lomas. That's right, Jim Lomas. We had two dealerships in Wyndham, which is about 30 miles from where I live, and hello, we're locked. I don't know what happened there. Everything just stopped for me, but we seem to be back again now, so let's carry on. I think that was an autosave, but an autosave didn't work quite as well as it should have done. Going in there. I think it might be time to put this side in. Check the back still out. Yeah, back still. Let's get this the right way around. Yes, Jim and myself were racing for last place. He on a 400 Suzuki for me on. I think at the time I had my. I had to follow up to the 500 two-stroke. I had my first four-stroke. I had a four-stroke twin Suzuki GTX model. Not terribly quick, slower than the 500. But it was double overhead camshaft. It had to be quick, I thought. Oh, it's funny how you don't know these things at the time. I found out after that meeting it was not that quick. That was near enough my last ever season. I spent 4 seasons in the mid-70s having a bit of fun. It was my hobby at the time and I enjoyed it immensely. I met a lot of nice people doing it. Oops, don't push the trailer. Try and remember to carry the forks lower. I tend to carry them a bit high when I got the tree on, because I need to see where I'm going. Even this food is actually easy to see. Yeah, that's my motorcycle racing career. I carried on with bikes. I say that GTX 450, I think it was called. Replaced the 500. Sorry to see the 500. Go ahead, about 7 years, as long as I ever owned a bike. It took some hard. I got down to a point I could actually get the engine, from getting the engine out of the frame to put it back in again and strip the engine fully down. I could do it in about 2.5 hours. Now that's some going. It wasn't that was unreliable, it's just that when I was racing I had to keep checking that nothing was breaking inside the engine. And so I went to the Isle of Man, and I was going to the Isle of Man during the time I was racing. I went right through the 70s. I actually saw Howard's comeback years. To my mind, still the greatest motorcycle racer ever, but these things are subjective, of course. Other people will think them. Others, they will reckon was good. But certainly at the time, there was no one better than Howard. Throughout the 60s, then he had that rest period when Honda pulled out, made a comeback for Daytona in 71, I think it was, and done very well there. Oh dear, I'm making a mess of this. Let's just try again, shall we? Now let's start again. None of that happened. I think we've got it this time. Have we? Yes. It's a good job I'm using these forks, because any of the others forks I'd have lost it by now. And I know I'm not doing it with the heavy end going towards. Let's drop it down. Remember what I was told, and the guy was right. Sorry, I forget your name. I meant to make a note of it before I started this. Could have been Phil. I'm not certain. I do apologise for that. It's bad of me. Not very professional, but then again, I have never pretended to be professional. I'll leave that to others. I just do this because I enjoy it. I've always done things I enjoy, except for work and school. I'll let you in the little secret. I hated school. It was not the best years of my life by any stretch of the imagination. Now, I can't remember if I already cut this last one. Let's have a look. Put the brake on. Yeah, it looks like it did. Well, this one can go first then. I know, as you can see there, I could carry those hours. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do you the fun of watching me struggle with these things. I don't look too bad in there, do they? It's just... Oh! Well, I was doing well until then. I was doing that, and then I grabbed a hold of it again. That's what happened. Close your eyes for one moment. I think we might just be able to lift this yet. This is not happening. You're not seeing this, but it's already built in once. I'm going to count that it's gone in. You can all say what you think when you come to put your comments in about that. Right, so I think we do this one. We take this lot. We'll take this lot and sell this lot. Then I think I might just see if we can afford to buy another cow. I haven't really got quite enough cows. I want about 20, I think, to start to make it pay. I think I still, if I remember right, I still got some. Whoa. Bales up at the shop. I will have to pop and have a look. Then I've got to get down with the stump grinder and pick the... I think the next couple I think I'll do today, logging, and possibly tomorrow. Then we will give logging a rest, get rid of these stumps, get rid of the sawdust, sell that off. Can't remember which way I'm meant to be turning this thing. Whoop. Go forward. On, let go. That's it. Actually, it looks quite neat for once. That's not me doing this, is it? Species will be threatening me with being a lumberjack again at this rate. Oh yeah, I've gone through my bikes for the years. Well, went to the other man one year, and I decided I'd buy myself something else, and I bought myself another Suzuki GS1000. These had just been announced when I bought it, only just been released in Britain. You talk about mistakes. I read several reviews on them, all glowing, till I went to ride this thing, and I soon learnt that yes, the engine was bulletproof. It went like stink, but it didn't handle. On private property, of course, I tried it out. 125 mile an hour, the thing started to weave. 135 mile an hour, it eased off again and stopped weaving. But that 10 mile an hour bit there was murder. And I then spent the next year trying to stop this thing from weaving. I done all kinds of tricks, right? I think that I do. I put in trick rear shock absorbers. I played around with the weight of oil in the forks. I think before we hook up, we will just strap this down. I don't. No, I can't put the back up. So we're. I was playing around with all kinds of things to try and cure it. One bloke who was racing one cured it, but that meant actually putting a longer swinging arm in the back, and I didn't quite fancy going to that extent. I think they cured it later when you could different type. It was the tyres. At the time, you had a choice of 2 makes of tyre. These had, if I remember right, very wide 17-inch rear tyres. Now, not unusual nowadays, but in those days it was very unusual. A, to have a 17-inch rear wheel, and B, if you had one, to have it with wide tyres. Right, let's get back in the cab. Put the forks down a bit. I'm going to leave the forks on. Well, I got fed up with it in the end, so I came back again from the Old Man. I got back from the Old Man in the morning. In the afternoon, I went to Chris Clark's in Wyndham and purchased for myself a brand spanking new Gutsy Le Mans Mark II in black and gold. No, it was a paint job put in by the British concessionaires, so they had a whole lot of these Mark IIs to get rid of, as the Mark III was just being announced, and they had to sell off all the Mark IIs. So they gave it a fancy black and gold paint job, and I had one. It was great. It really was. The best bike I've ever owned. Took some getting used to. Handling, very long wheelbase handling was interesting, with shaft drive and the crank run with the frame instead of across it. You felt you could actually use the throttle to lay it into the bend or pick it up in a bend. It was great fun. I had that for a few years. Mind you, 9 months after I got it, some idiot knocked me off my bike. So I bought it back off the insurance company and done it up and carried on riding it. Sorry, I've got a bit of a dry throat. What came after the Gutsy? I think the Gutsy then was a series of smaller stuff. I was getting older and actually learnt to drive. For the first time I actually had a car. Oh, yes. Worst thing I ever did was learn to drive. People expect you to enjoy driving. I don't. I love driving. Give me 2 wheels any day. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Oh, not too bad. Oh, gone. I'm going to just cheat and take the straps off like this. Oh, that's not too bad. Could be better, but could be worse. We might be able to afford to buy another cow. Gets into double figures on cows. Whoa. I want to just check we've got bales back here. Whoa. And we might as well sell the eggs off as well. Although we haven't got many. There could be another one coming around the corner, but we're quick. Oh yeah, but still got silage bales, so I'll just turn the engine on. Oh, we've still got other stuff. The muck spreader to pick up. The tedder, the baler, the planter, all to be picked up as yet. Not have a day doing that. Oh yeah, we got hay and straw in here. This is all ours. Right. So I want to bring this up here and drop some of those in at some point. Ah, no, 131. Right, we get back by another cove. And knock down a couple more trees. Should really have the beacons gone, but I'm going to work on the principle there wasn't beacons when this was done. And it's going to rain now. Oh gee. Open cab, rain. Well, I won't be grass cutting it if I could. I'm not certain on how much we owe the bank either on this. We must just check it. Yeah, so get back to car. Then I decided I'd go back on the bike. So I got a second-hand Kawasaki 350, I think it was, 4-stroke twin. And had a new Indian Enfield. Big mistake. Did not get on with it at all. Oh. And another Kawasaki. Oh, it's 302 was the first one, and the second one was a 350. And then we got what I got now, which is a Honda NC 700S. I've got that money because the fuel consumption is remarkable. 70 miles per gallon. Using it hard is not unusual. It's what they call a concept bike. Honda made this to see if it could be done. They basically took 2 cylinders from one of the car engines and shoved it in a bike frame. Right, I'm going to leave this here. We just go over and buy a cow. We get it delivered. I think the trigger's the other side of this. I think this is the trigger, yes. We can buy one, but it looks of it. Yeah, that's going to be it. Yeah, that's it. Well, we should have now 10 in here. And we want some water. Might pass to do. Spend the rest of the day messing about with the cows. Now, where's my water tank? And will this pull up? Well, I'll find out. Now, I might have left the water tank in the cow pasture. We'll find out. Yeah, that's the story of my motorcycling life. Yes, I had accidents. Yes, some have been my fault. But the big one certainly was not. Oh yeah, the water tank's in there. The big accident certainly was not my fault. Oh, I'll tell you, I was coming back from Norwich one May bank holiday. I think it's the late May bank holiday. And for once in my life, I was obeying the speed limit. Oh, let's find out where the trigger actually is. For once in my life, I was obeying the speed limit coming out of Norwich. Not something that happens very often, I will have to admit. And I saw up ahead this car on a side road. He was stopped. Then I got within 50 yards on me, decided to come, by which time it's too late to do anything about anything. You are committed. Let's fill this up. Yeah, that's it. Unhook it again. And away we go. I've got to open up the gate again. Not parking too close to the gate. Shall we say, that was lucky really. I landed on my head. That could have been something that was important. I flew through the air with the greatest of ease. That daring young man was no flying trapeze. Now, what about the rest of it? Parcels, you know, I think we're a little bit short, but I think we'll leave that until tomorrow. Alright, let's put this thing back in the shed. I might as well put it in the workshop. I do like this thing. I know some people don't like them with their silly little twin cylinder engines. I like them. I'm someone who loves field marshals, Lance Bulldogs and the such like with their single cylinder engines. You know, they're the ones that fire once every second lamppost, and that's when they're running fast. I think I'm going to end it here actually, guys, because it's raining, and we'll come back and do the rest of this tomorrow. So I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider leaving a like. If you're not a subscriber and want to subscribe, we might as well take a picture of that. Feel free to do so. Always happy to have new people aboard. I don't bite much. With the amount of teeth I got left, I don't bite at all anymore. Any comments, questions or queries, feel free to post them in the comments section under this video. And with that, it's Merriman saying cheerio for now. Cheerio.